Hey everyone, how you doing? So, 2023. Wow, this was a pretty big year for me. A very big year for me. In fact, this year I may or may not have passed a subscriber goal in my head by about 4 times. Wow, okay. So, I'm sure a lot of you aren't familiar with what this video is about, and I'll enlighten you. Ever since 2021, I've made a video every year where I basically discuss everything related to my socials, such as how much I've grown, what my best performing content was, and what my goals are for the next year. So, without any further ado, let's jump right into that. I want to start off with my social medias, and there's a lot to discuss here. So in last year's video, I was at 1,500 subscribers. Guess what we're at now? As of the time I'm making this video, just shy of 22,500. To say that I gained a few extra this year is an understatement. On top of this, TikTok jumped from 41,000 to 73,000, not too shabby, and I also made a Shorts account this year, which is currently at almost 8,000. That's especially crazy because halfway through the year, I just kinda stopped posting, like, for a few months. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. As for any other social I mentioned in that 2022 video, those are now inactive. Instagram was not worth doing, and I don't even think I talked about Twitch, but if I did, I'm not streaming anymore. In any case, thank you all so much for the love you've given my content this year. I genuinely didn't think we'd get to this size anytime soon, so to see it happen is honestly insane. And trust me, we've got a lot more planned for 2024, so stay tuned. Now, as for video-specific stuff that I want to talk about, let's start off easy by discussing what I think was my best video and what I think was my worst video on YouTube. In my opinion, the best video I made this year was probably my pea shooter video, surprisingly. Yeah, I know it's a bit of a strange pick, the editing wasn't completely on point or anything, but I loved making everything in that video. Every step of the process was a blast, and it paid off quite well, which you can see here with the views. Now, as for the worst video I made this year, Overwatch 2. That is all I have to say. In regards to specific stats, the 3 videos with the most views are, in order from least to most, the Vine Challenge video at over 500,000 views, the Mint Challenge video at over 700,000 views, and finally, the first Chinese games video at over 800,000. Those numbers are insane. To give you an idea on how crazy that is, the video with the most views last year had less than 5,000. Talk about a jump. As for the bottom 3 this year, going in order of most to least, we have a Garden Warfare 2 gameplay video at a little over 500 views, a channel membership promotion video at over 400 views, and finally, the Overwatch 2 video I mentioned before, sitting at over 200. It's funny how in both 2022 and 2023, both of the lowest videos were gameplay videos on games that I had phases with. Sometimes I feel like you guys know me better than I know myself, which is why the videos don't do well. I'm also going to add in the Shorts account too, because why not? We'll only talk about 2 videos here, the highest viewed and the lowest. The highest here is a video on Impair being a horrifying plant lore-wise, which is almost at 500,000 views. Nice. The lowest is a video on Animal Crossing, which isn't even at 1,000. Do you guys just not like other content? Okay, joking aside, I did actually broaden my horizons this year. Animal Crossing joke, we did it, I put it in a video finally, which I think a lot of you have noticed. I mean, look at this. One of the most viewed videos on my channel is a Fortnite video now. That's not something you see every day. To those of you who like my Fortnite and alternate content, believe me, we have a lot more coming in 2024. I really enjoyed these videos, and clearly a lot of you do too. So with that being said, more will come. Alright, next up is the yearly setup tour, so let's quickly go over it. Okay, so here's the setup tour for this year. There's a little bit to look at. Hang on. That's a bit better. Alright, yeah, let's talk. So I'm not going to immediately talk about my setup. I'm on a creaky floor, please ignore that. However, I do want to talk about this a little bit. The shark. Blah. I have a Chromebook underneath it. It's there because it can be. I have G Fuel stickers from like February. We have the old laptop here. This was what I used to use last year. Not anymore. We have a bunch of PvZ merchandise that I got like 2 days ago. I don't know what to make of it. That's crazy. I don't know what to think of it. I mean, I think it's fine, but yeah, it's something. Down here we have a mini 3DS collection. I actually have one more, but these are the 2 that I kind of like keeping around. We have a couple games in the back. Mario. This is actually a Japanese 3DS, and I modded it because you can see the pizza tower background. Look, it even has music. Hold up. Yep, that's pretty damn cool. Moving on from that, we'll go to the actual setup. So, you might be wondering where my PC is. Down here. Oh my god, please ignore that cable management. It is horrific. So, yeah, this thing is pretty beefy. I do not remember what's in it. I built it myself, but I don't remember what's in this thing. Yes, it is sitting on cardboard. Deal with it. Have an old headset, a bunch of cords. Fun. This right here is a brand new headset I just got. Yeah, it's actually pretty nice. It's very nice. There you go. And right here's Discord. I have my second monitor. And yes, this is new too. It's pretty nice. Down here we have something. Yeah, I may or may not have modded Spotify. Sue me. And then we have the main setup here, which is, yeah, it's something. I didn't change my monitor one bit. This is the exact same one I had last year and a year before, but I did get a new mouse pad. I don't actually think I even had one last year. Yeah, that's pretty bad. I just now got around to it. I guess that's a new controller too. I don't remember when I got that. It's nice. See, I actually was gonna have some Pizza Tower stickers that I was gonna put on my Xbox here, but they haven't come in yet. And that's pretty much the setup. There's not a whole lot else to say, so yeah, back to the video, I guess. And finally, I'm just gonna sit here and talk about the future. This part is basically unscripted, I just have guidelines written down. Okay, so let's start with the Chinese Games Part 3 video. I've talked about it since April, and I just haven't done it yet. Like, I started the script, and then I realized how monumentous the task is. It is so ridiculous how big it is. To give you an idea on how much bigger this video is, I was planning on talking about literally everything else that Chinese PvZ has to offer, including the goddamn plushes, and just the merchandise in general. That is ridiculous. I don't know if I could do that, but I will try in the future. So if you're wondering why that video isn't out yet, yeah, there you go. Also, in regards to other PvZ content, and generally what I'm going to be covering, I just want to say now that I'm broadening my horizons next year. This means that I'm actually going to start diving into other PvZ content, which I'm sure a lot of you are about to be really hyped for what I'm saying. Mods. Yes, I'm finally going to start talking about PvZ mods. Now, I'm not going to pull an RCCH and make my entire channel about mods, but I'm going to definitely talk about them a lot more next year. I've been recently doing a playthrough of Altverse, which is really fun, and it's kind of inspired me to talk about certain things. We'll talk about that in the future. Also, yes, I did get memberships this year. I know I made a brief remark about it earlier in the video, but yes, memberships are here, and if you buy them, you get a lot of perks. I don't know why I shilled that in the middle of this. Sorry about that. I wanted to talk about it because I'm really proud of the fact that I actually have monetized stuff now. It's awesome. Okay, now here's the big parts. Goals for the future. So let's talk about my goals for this year. And this is gonna be a little bit crazy, but just stick with me here. So I want to get 20,000 subs on the Shorts channel, which is kind of ridiculous, but I don't think it's completely out of my reach. My other goal, on the other hand, is a little bit crazier, that being 50,000 subscribers on YouTube by the end of 2024. That is reaching for the goddamn stars, but I really want to do it. Considering my growth this year, I feel like all I need to do is just post more good videos. And I will, hopefully. Also, I do kind of want to talk about that a little bit. Next year, I'm planning to make some big moves in my personal life, so I may not post a little bit for a few months. Well, I don't know. I'm still going to post, but it won't be as much during those months. Like, I'm gonna move next year. I'm still living in my parents' house. I don't want to live here, so I'm gonna move next year. But yeah. Also, real quick, have I ever talked about my age? I feel like a lot of you probably don't know. I'm 19. So when I say that I still live here, yeah, I hope that makes more sense. Alright, and with all of that, I'll be ending this video here. Thank you all so much for an amazing 2023. I really do appreciate it. Seriously, this year was a big one for me, even just outside of content. Though in context of the content, I changed my name, the Sona I use as a profile picture, and much more. So yeah, got a lot done, and I have a lot more planned later. Also, I'd like to give some big shoutouts to Gravitry, Aldenity for Omens, Sylvia Stinky Haha, you are just such a comedian, next to Jerry Seinfeld, and Skylar the Unicorn for being $5 supporters of my channel. Thank you all so much, you rock. Now, as for me, I'm gonna start preparing the One Piece and JoJo's GIFs for 2024, so I'll see you all in my next video. Peace.